What is going on, kids? Welcome to Metal Monday.
I can't get all screamy. Can y'all hear me? I hope you can hear me. For the love of God, I hope you can hear me. How's everybody doing? What is up? What is up? Y'all have gotten in here early, or am I late? No, it's 9:15. Yeah, Pepperhost. 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 Is that Deutsch auf Deutsch? Good to see you, man. Let me get up here and say hey to everybody. We got Marco in the house. Howdy, Marco, channel member. We got Ground Fog in the house. Good to see you, brother. We got Palmer Connolly, channel member. Welcome, my friend. We've got Neil McKenzie, channel member. Good to see you, buddy. We got Greg Vanderlip, and he doesn't have a wrench, so I'm going to fix that real quick, and then we'll continue going down. Keep in mind, all of the wrenches automatically get removed after a while. I have to go back in and add them. So if you see your wrench go away, where you can leave links and do stuff like that, don't think it's been done intentionally unless you step out of line, because with great responsibility or great power comes great responsibility. What is up, B Shady, my man? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see all you guys. Fetch, what is going on, brother? Chef Rocky, what is happening, my man? Good to see you, buddy. And then we got Crazy Roach in the house, channel member. Good to see you. Ben Mere Salt, what is up, buddy? Picked up another flashlight. I've got a flashlight. It won't excite you, but I'm curious to see what you picked up. And then we have Der Pepperhorst, who I've not met before, but it's great to see you. And I'm assuming you might be German. German was my language in high school. I wasn't very good at it. It almost kept me from graduating college. But my mom came to America when she was 4 with my granddad, my opa, and as part of Operation Paperclip. It's pretty intense to learn about now. Sharp Guy ATX, what is going on, buddy? We got Robert Douglas in the house. Good to see you, Robert Douglas. Double D10 channel member. Guys, I'll be posting a channel member video for Friday night tomorrow. You can kind of look for that. I'm not getting through my collection dive quick enough. And my last case, the one I'm going to go through at the end, is kind of my overflow, so to speak. So I'm just going to pull one out of there that's not going to make the collection dive. But it's one that's really cool, nice. So I think you guys will appreciate it. And I appreciate y'all, all you guys. Well, who else we got in here? We've got Joe Isabella, my man, the myth, the legend. Good to see you, Joe. Welcome, my friend, and also a channel member. I think I said hey to Robert, but maybe I didn't. Hey, Robert Douglas. Good to see you, buddy. And y'all might not even be able to hear me, and I haven't even gotten to that yet because I'm trying to make sure I'm not skipping over anybody. What's up, young man? Palmer Connolly, channel member. Good to see you, brother. Let's see, 1931 Leatherworks. What is going on, buddy? Good to see you back, man. Who else we got in here? Joseph S. Good to see you. He's got a new logo. I'm liking it. Is that I know it's 2 knives. I'm trying to see what's in the center. Is that like a spike, or is that just another knife? Not just another knife, but it's a very cool logo. By the way, guys, just so you know, my logo is the worst in the game. I built it on Canva using templates. And every time I send something or Pocket Metal, because he's a designer, he just gives me hell. I don't blame him. Hopefully he'll be able to jump in and hang for a little bit tonight. Scott Bruce 72, channel member. Good to see you, my friend. We got Lemmy Get That in the house. Good to see you, Lemmy. Chris Warris, what is up, my friend? Good to see you, buddy. And I'm I thought I was caught up. Arkansas EDC, howdy, my friend. Kathleen Smith, good to see you, young lady. So, is that C? Or no, there D Das. I'm trying to think. I don't even know how to say yes in German. Now that I think about it, I know I do, but it's left my brain. the Old English preamble to the Canterbury Tales by Chaucer that my 12th grade English teacher made me memorize. I can't get out of my head. I mean, I don't like walk around repeating it, but it's still there in its entirety. And I know it's taken up hard disk space like Guten Tag. What's that? Good morning, Guten Tag. Space Ghost. Hello, my friend and channel member. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Marisol, did you say what flashlights you got? I just haven't gotten to it yet. What's up, Steve O? Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. And I know Rob's still live, and I think he's doing some giveaways. Let's take a peek because I don't want y'all to miss out. I will be here. I will be here waiting for you guys. But let's go to Rob and see what's happening. Just check in. Let's just check in on old Rob. So I don't know if I know he was doing 2 giveaways, and then he thought he would come back and possibly do a third one. But yeah, y'all are probably dual watching, but don't miss out. No, I'll be here, and y'all will not hurt my feelings if y'all have to go over there to try to win something. I do not blame you. Did he do 3, Kathleen, or did he do 2? Because I was watching it. Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch, Chris. Ein bisschen. I knew he was doing 2, and then he said something about he might do a third one. I didn't see if he did or not. What is going on, Funland? Welcome, welcome, my friend. Snowtrag, channel member Snowtrag. I'll get that name one day. Scott Brew, that's awesome, dude. I'll let you guys know that, as you probably do, and thanks for being a channel member, buddy, that most everything, with the exception of Vosteeds, are my knives, and I give them away. But I've been talking to Kaiser. I've been talking to several, Vosteed, of course, Kaiser, CJRB, and Artisan Cutlery, to talk about reviewing some different knives than I normally do, even though I've always reviewed a couple of each of those and own a couple of each of those. And then Civivi, Sencut, to get more knives where these companies help support some of the giveaways, because that's all I want to do with them. I'm not looking to up my collection. If y'all are not already bored with my collection dive, if you've watched any of those videos, they'll live in a playlist. But I did one last year for members, and I need to make it public and put it in its own 2022 playlist. But I like to do one every year just to kind of keep up for me. Sometimes I make them private, but I've been putting them out. I did a little poll. And right now we're halfway through my kind of what I would call medium to premium import case. And then each case is 4 videos. I do like 11 to 12 knives in each video, because it would be just boring for me, who has ADHD and a short attention span, to watch an hour and a half worth of collection each box. So the next one that we'll get into, and then I'll do some regular videos that'll break up the collection dives, but box 3 is probably the bangerest. It's my USA knife case, and I've got all, for Memorial Day, all made in America knives here on the table, which you guys might or might not be able to see. But if I go like that, you can see that we've got a couple of GECs, a T Denny, a Chickadee, a TCal, a Microtech, a McNeese, a Spyderco, a Emerson, I got to get better lighting for my table too, SPK, Lamia, a Little Hinder, Medford Infraction. The reason that one's out there is it's my stars and bars pattern, which I think is really sweet. And then we got our Strider SNG, our Hinder Eclipse, got a little Spartan SHR, or Spartan Harsey Folder, our Protect Mordax, our TRM Atom, our Benchmade Mini Adamas, and our Ziba S5. So I tried to do in a very quiet way, just have those knives represented tonight. And I'm actually carrying, and we'll do that in a little bit, but I'm carrying, except for the flashlight that'll make Marisol throw up, because this is something else that a couple of companies have reached out to me on. You've probably seen some of these videos, but this light was sent to me from Night Court. Long story is I used to buy my chargers from the vape store when I first started vaping. The only really good rechargeable chargers you could get were Night Court. So I'm familiar with the brand. I've never had any of their lights. They sent me two to check out and review, and there'll be giveaways. This one is just a simple 2 function on, function off aluminum light that runs off an 18650. I think it lists for like $70. And the one I've been carrying that I'm really digging is this little guy, and this is the EDC 25, right? So it's kind of on that same form factor as the Olight, right? Except what I noticed, the one drawback I had on it, because it's really bright, the one drawback is it's long, right? It's longer. So in my front pocket, if I carry it like in my jeans, it takes up a lot of space. The clip's great. But like today, I'm wearing these green. I'm not going to stand up and show you, but they're these green kind of olive drab 511 pants that have side pockets. So I've been carrying it in that, and it carries great because it's really thin, right? And I've got it in lockout mode now, but it's still, you've got this little tactile button that just gives you a flash of brightness, and it's super bright. Or I think you go, let's see, is it 1, 2? Yep. Or you can unlock it, because I did find out, even though it's got a proximity sensor, it will turn on when I push it down in my pocket. So I always lock it out. So you got low, low. It's got 4 brightness levels. And you can set it up to do an SOS mode. I don't ever do SOS modes. And then to lock it out, you just push it once and then push it again. Hold on. Now it's locked out. It just blinked. So now when I push the button, it won't go off, but my little kind of tactile switch there will give me my full beam and little flashes of light. And it's easy to hold, kind of cool. And I think these are like $53, $54. I haven't looked on Amazon. Let me see. Give me a second, guys. I'm sorry I'm out of the chat. What always happens to me with the way, and I won't talk about it anymore because y'all are very well aware, but my brain, when it gets on something, I can only focus, or focus is an overstatement. I can only really pay attention to one thing at a time, so I'm not good at multitasking, like reading or keeping up with chat. And I'm probably missing good questions, but I've got it where I was. I was just trying to get too far behind. So $74 light is what that one is, this one. And I think it's a cool light. You know, this was $99. This is not the Pro. This is the first one that has, how do I get it bright? It's got a low and a high, and then it's also got the UV light. If you want to switch it over to UV, you can do that. There's the high. But this is considerably brighter and seems to hold a charge. I've not charged this up again, and I've gone out. Let's see how much charge I've got left. So I've got 4 out of 5. It shows 3 on there, but when I look at it, no, it's 3. Got 3 out of the 4 batteries. So it still seems to be running strong on battery. So I'll let y'all know what I think about this. Be Shady, what's up? Jesse, what's up? I will do a review on it. I'll make them quick because I know flashlight reviews, especially flashlights that a lot of people, I like them. I've got Olites, and that's another company that I reached out to through an affiliate website that I use that reached back out to me and is sending me a couple of cool things to take a look at. Because I've always, Mersalt, put your fingers in your ears, but I've always owned Olites. I've had and given away i3s, i5s. I've got the Baton 3 Mini. I have this one here. This is the one I bought before I bought the Arcfell. This is the Seeker 4. It's got a UV light too. So I've got a bunch of flashlights just because to me it's part of the EDC game. So they're going to climb on board and send me a few things to check out, which will help me to be able to give away stuff more regularly, right? I mean, that's the goal of it. Again, I think I did a video, and I know I did a video. I don't know how many of y'all saw it, explaining why I don't promote channel milestone giveaways, because I just like to do giveaways every week, right? So in my opinion, to say, guys, when we get here, we're going to do this. I do have some companies that I've talked to about doing some, milestone type giveaways where they help me out by making some things available so I can put together a prize package or something. But I'm still, I mean, it's a small, slow, what do you call it? It's a long game, not a short game. So we'll get there, and I'm going to have more people kick in. To be honest with you, I picked it up because I had this light right here. It's a CountyCom Meritech that it's a laser emitted projection device. And I ordered some tritium tubes that you really can't see, but it's got 6 tritium tubes in it. A pink, blue, green, pink, blue, green, not necessarily in that order, but they are in that order. I just don't know what I was showing. But the glue that was recommended, it was a company out of Hawaii that sells the glue, and it's a UV curable glue. So the reason, because I get janked out if I look, because this one's got the blue light too. But if I go and just look anywhere, like on my computer keyboard, it's just nasty. And I don't know if it's because I vape, but it cured it, that what was cool about it is I could no, Palmer's not a troll. Palmer's cool. What is up, Addicted to Blaze 2? And I'll get back in the chat here in just a second. But yes, I was able to put those tubes in those channels, get them moved exactly where I wanted, get the glue out away from the front of them, and then all I had to do was hit it with the UV light, and it cured it instantly. I mean, hard cure. So that's kind of why I got the UV light, why I got that Seeker 4 Pro Mini or whatever. Scotch and Things, what is up? Hinder Collector, what is up? And what is up, Brother Paul Mills? Good to see all you guys. Let me get back up in the chat. What did I miss? I didn't say hey to Kent. What's going on, Kent? Who else we got here that I might have missed? And y'all keep an eye on Rob. I'm going to watch him too, because I think he said he might do another. I don't want anybody to miss out because they're hanging here with me. Exactly, Jesse. That's what it was called. I didn't know much about it, about Tritium at all. I wish I could remember the company I ordered it from. It took a while to get here, like 10 days, but it came in a cool little, not cool, but just like a little plastic case with it kind of packed real neatly, I guess, because that shit's radioactive and they don't want it breaking on a UPS truck. So I guess it behooves them not to have janky packaging. So, is everybody having a fantastic or have they had a fantastic day? I'm hoping everybody did. I did absolutely nothing. Jeffrey Dawson, what's up, brother? Channel member, good to see you. And Jeffrey doesn't have a wrench. Jeffrey, this is to protect you if ever you run into Shane in here and he tries to put you in timeout. Chef Rocky, I don't think has a wrench either. I think I just passed him. Where'd he go? He might not still be in here, but I see his. Let's go. Add a moderator. I'm looking at 2 chat windows, guys. What I've got to do is break out some more space and get another monitor. It's the only way to do it. I mean, I've got to have, not that I'll be able to focus on it necessarily better, but it seems like when I share screens, I used to run my iPad, and I could still do that and just run the chat there. But looking away is just tricky for me too. I'm trying to go in here and find Jeffrey Dawson. There he is. Boom, boom. He's now a moderator as well. And guys, feel free to promote your socials, promote your, well, I'm not promoting. I need to have my banner going. Because it has, we'll take a look here at Jason Brown's shop, our creator shop that Pocket Metal put together for Brother Brown, his memorial store. It's also on my link tree. So my link tree lives in my description on my YouTube channel. It's a thing that looks like, I'll pull it up in a second. First, let's look at Brother Brown's Be-Up store, because I've picked up a hat from there, picked up 2 mats, picked up this shirt, and every bit of this revenue goes straight to Nora. It's hooked up to Nora and Sarah, so they're the ones that see what comes in and gets what's raised, off the different merchandise. But this is all Jason Brown original art. Some of it's Pocket Metal has embellished a little bit, like this one. He had to do the recreation of Jason, like the shirt I'm wearing. And it'll constantly have fresh stuff up here. But you guys know it's there, and know that if you want Be-Up gear, it's not supporting a channel. It's not supporting Pocket Metal. It's not supporting said Stevie. It's going just to help the Brown family. Really cool stuff. Pocket Metal's put a lot of heart and soul. I think said Stevie's put a lot of heart and soul into the cause, and I just want to keep it top of mind awareness. So with that in mind, when you go to my link tree, I don't know if you guys use Linktree. I never did. And now I'm kind of in the digital space, but Brother Lefty told me about it. And for me to keep up with links, even though I have affiliate links added to my store or to my page, this little free thing that I use lets you go in and put your social media. I've got my email address, all that stuff. And then I've got my store, my Amazon store, which is just stuff that I bought from Amazon that I use on channel. And then any links that you guys want to use, you can. It helps the channel. You don't have to. This is not an ask for you to use my links, but they are here. And I'm going to add to them as I get more links. So, for example, when you see a link that has a code, this is just a link that goes straight to Rock Scale Design. And then you've got RSD, Rock Scale Design, Javon, JV, 10%, my Lockbee, 10% code. And then I've got a code at Blackbeard, Fire Starter, Fire Kits. But here's the Jason Brown Be-Up store. And if you want to, there's a subscribe button somewhere on there. And if you subscribe to it, it doesn't do anything except just notify you when I add affiliate links or discount codes. And I'll normally let you guys go and know about that. Again, never want to be Chicago 23. What is up, buddy? I hope you got the detent ball in the spring. It was tiny, so I tried to put it in an envelope, in a bag. Ping drivers, old Ping drivers hit sweet. I mean, it's not going to feel like a Bertha or some of the new oversized clubs, but they've got a great sound. I used to play with them. I had a set of Pings. I used to play all the time. I kind of gave up when I gave up drinking about 8 years ago. Somehow golf kind of went out with that too. I don't know why, but it did. And I'd love to go play. I've got some Nike irons, a Big Bertha. I can't even remember what all I've got. Golf is great, and it is it's very relaxing. But everybody I played with, and everybody I still play with, if I were to go play, and it's not that I'd be triggered, but that used to be one of my big go out, have Bloody Marys, tee off, have the beer cart girl, pay her off so she'd follow us, drink, get to 9, and then switch over to whatever we were carrying in our bags, which was usually Crown and Coke or something else. It was always led to debauchery, but it was a blast. And I would start off a little shaky. I'd get about 3 drinks in and I would just hit a zone till about the turn. And then I'd fall off pretty bad. I'd go hard right. I'm a right-hander, but for some reason when I got really whacked out, I would slice it. And it was damn frustrating. So I probably ought to go out and play if I could just get my mindset, because keep in mind, you've got ADHD, walking a course, or for me, riding a cart, taking up 3 hours, 3.5 hours, that's a hell of a commitment. I can commit 3.5 hours here because it's moving, right? It's something I enjoy doing. I enjoy hanging out. I enjoy talking about knives. I enjoy looking at knives. I've got several websites pulled up here for stuff to look at. Some fixed blades that I found lately that I think are really cool. Did y'all see Metal Complex's unboxing today from Tools for Gents, that fixed blade that they sent him? Anybody see that? Just going to show you the knife. I'm going to blow off Rob here for a second. That sounded wrong. I'm not going to blow off Rob. I'm just going to show you this knife. You get fast forwarded to it. Let's skip this commercials. Because there's a watch that he dotes on first. All right. So this is a knife that's made in Poland. It's made out of Elmax. It's bigger than what I would carry because when he measures it, it's 8 inches. But I think it's pretty darn cool. And the sheath, don't be thrown off by the sheath. It didn't come from Polish knife makers. They might be the ones that made it. But the sheath, if you look at it, it's got the clips or that belt dangler that I hate. You could take that off and you could put Ulti clip on it. You could put any clip you wanted. But it looks like Polish knife makers made it. It is, can't see what that MK says. MK Knives. But I just thought this was a very slick looking knife. And there's some things they did, and I don't know how much it costs. We'll go to Tools for Gents in a sec. But check out that Elmex blade, DLC coated. And if you look at the G10, the way they did the black and the olive, look at the pivot collar, or not the pivot collar, the hardware collar. 8 inches. Yeah, for me, you guys know I'm a 5 to 6.5 inch guy. Not anatomically, but with the blades I like to carry on a daily basis, right? But I thought it was a really cool knife. I want to get to let me show you guys the sheath. So even though it's got that long, even though it's got this long dangly back thing, which a lot of people like, those hanging straps, but you can take it off, right? So you can take both those hardware off, the whole back end comes off, and then you can put an ulti clip on it. You could put some horizontal loops. It came with some cord in case you wanted to carry as a neck knife, which that's a heavy ass neck knife at 8 inches. But I thought it was really cool. So for S&Gs, let's go to Polish Custom Knives or whatever they're called. No, Tools for Gents. And let's see if we can find how much that costs. I'm thinking it's going to cost $350 is my guess. And it's probably going to be more than that, but I'm guessing $350. Now, MC thought it was a mid-tech. First, he thought it was a custom. Can y'all see that? Do y'all ever go to Tool for Gents? I can't afford stuff there mostly, but I do like looking at their stuff. MK, 629 pounds. So total length 272. Is that about 8 something inches? I think that's the knife. PVC patch that was in there. Where's it showing the L max? G10, blah, 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 blah. So that's it, guys. It's 629. It's more than I thought it'd be. Unless this is a bigger one. That's a bigger one. That's not the one MC had. Hold on. Let's go back here. That's like a Big Daddy. That's the 04. I think we're looking for something that's maybe a smaller variation. That's the 01, 497. It's 230 millimeters. See, I'm not good at knowing how much millimeters is. It was like, let's do this. 230 millimeters is how many inches? Question mark. 9. So this might be it. I thought it was 8 inches overall. Let's keep looking. I know I thought it was too big. And I don't remember because he was just doing an unboxing. I don't think he had the name of it. I know it'll be in his description. Never mind. Let's do this. Yeah, I'm thinking it's this one right here, the MK1 Nomad. Let's see what if he has it in his description. Let's see if he has it in his description because I thought it was a really cool knife. My local knife dealer that I like to go hang out with, I'm going to do a video down there probably next week because I think y'all would enjoy it, especially slip joints. But he has some really cool, he's got a cool Strider fixed blade. Let's see if he has what it is in his description. Where's his description? So does he not, he just puts the same thing in his description. He doesn't put what he's reviewing. And that's the way you should do probably YouTube. But no, I don't see the name of it, but I'm thinking it's the 01 Nomad. That's my guess. Anyway. Are you going to get the mini October? I didn't know the October was in a mini. Hold on. Let's go and look. You know, they've got a sale on their site too. We'll look at that in a second. but on Amazon, what was your other choice? Roach. Yeah, I think it's a regular October, right? Or do they have a mini October? Just oh, they do. Look at it. It's a cute little bitch. So it's 44 bucks on Kaiser's site, and Kaiser's having a sale. What's the blade steel on that? And what was our other choice? Mini roach. See how much it is. Where'd I go? Where'd I go? I'm lost in my tabs, guys. So they're both, it's personal preference. I've never tried the mini October, but I've got the full size. I had the full size October in the bacon micarta. I gifted it to brother Dark Gravity, and then I picked up on Jared's live. I won the October prototype. It's just killer, the contoured titanium. I love that knife. It's a tall, flat. I mean, it's going to be slicier than the roach. I had a full size roach. Shane got that, but I did not have a mini roach. I like the mini roach. I don't think you can lose. So Amazon hopefully should have the same price as Kaiser, I would think, because I think it's the Kaiser store. So I think all the sales. Because let's do this first. Let's go back to show you the sales that are going on here. This Grom fixed blade looks pretty cool, but they're having some banging sales on some knives they're moving out. Don't know if y'all check that, but I would guess that that's going to translate over to Amazon too. So let's look. And just so you guys know, and this is not a shill, it's just information, right? So if you go to the Amazon, my store, I also have Amazon link, so you can go in there and you can search Kaiser October. I've got most of these knives in my recommended. I don't think I have the mini. I know I've got the Banish. Do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. Well, but yeah, it's $7 cheaper on Amazon, dude. I would go for it for shiz, and I will let me give you a link, and I'll give you a link for both of them. Where's that funky? Let's stop sharing. Let's go up here and do site stripe. Let's click this for the mini October, 37 bucks. Let's get that link. So here is, love you, Chef Rocky. Are you crashing out, buddy? I know you're an early morning guy. That's the link to the $37 October mini. And now let's go back and find the mini roach. It's 37 bucks too. Yeah, so both of those knives are just killer sale. They've got the green in stock and they've got the I think I like the dark green. Share this with you. Copy, paste. And here's a link for the mini roach for any of y'all are looking. And those are both $37. And those are affiliate links. So if y'all do choose to use those, you don't have to by any means. You can go straight to Amazon like I did and find them. But I buy a ton of knives here. What I'd like to do is I like to go in, and this is where I find the weird stuff, and this is where I find a lot of I'd call them copies. So if you go, I like to go titanium, EDC, folding knife, just to see what's showing up there, right? This is how I found the Nimble clones, the EMP EDCs, some Benchmades. That's new. That sucked. I have a terrible review on that. That thing has the worst lock stick in the world. It's a cool knife, but it just has fatal lock stick. But I've noticed there are a lot of brands that are sneaking in here that are really expensive because they know, I guess, that certain knife people that are enthusiasts. What do y'all think about this? I'm not a big fan. I'm a fan of Kaiser, but I'm not a fan of the Huldra. I've got one of those. Big Idea design. No, Tyrant's not Big Idea. Sorry, Big Idea. And again, this Raven, not that anybody want that. I thought it would be a cool bug out bag knife, and I buy stupid shit all the time. Like this Gorilla Survival knife for $199. This is a bargain company. I mean, I bought a little fixed blade from them. I can't imagine this knife, an M390, and a titanium handle being worth $199. Sorry. Just because I know the brand. They're a big Amazon brand. And what the fuck's that? A sharpening stone? Buyer beware. And I'll tell y'all, the shenanigans, tomfoolery, theft is going rampant. So if you're one of those people that trade, again, pocket knife, chameleon, $175, Remiette, they're pretty good. I've heard good and bad things. I've never experienced one. Looks like a pretty knife. I'm not crazy about the milling or the anodization, but I didn't see that it was a Remiette. The $175, I'm finding better options. But I was hoping to show you guys some of the shady stuff, like that right there. Does that look familiar to anybody? i.e. a copy of anything? And I didn't think everything was legit, but I thought since Amazon was a US company, they would police their shit more than others. Because Kershaw would seem like it'd say, hey, somebody's selling this knife. It looks just like a leak. Yeah, that's what I mean. So to me, that's sketchy. But when you look at some of these others, what it tells me is if you OEM a knife with a company, certain companies in China, they don't treat intellectual property. That's a great knife. They don't treat intellectual property the same way. So they've basically been running the knives for ABC manufacturer. And then instead of running their knives for 3 shifts, maybe they run in 4 shifts and they put them on AliExpress. Look at this right here. What's that look at? It even has a name. I would think that Benchmade, because they're very, we know, litigious or whatever you want to call it, would send a letter to fucking, what's his name? Rocket Boy, and say, cut the shit out. This is crazy. A little gravity knife. But I'm specifically looking for the EMP EDC ripoffs. I'm not just scrolling. And I'm afraid if I just put in the name, it's going to make me mad. The interesting Kaiser. All right, I'm gonna type it in there because I can kind of remember. Let's go. And they're smart enough, or not smart enough. They rarely will put the keywords in, but if I see the brand, and it may be the same brand that makes the bug outs. Hold on. No, it's not Hua. It's something like that though. Something with an F. But there's all kinds of sketchy stuff, and there's also really good stuff. I mean, you can get good prices like those two Kaisers for $37. They're what, $7 cheaper. Here's a Towser Mini S or Towser S for $32. I want to try that lock out. Anyway, I'm not going to waste our time here. That looks shady to me, but I want to Spyderco, because a lot of these you'll recognize the retailer. It'll be Blade HQ, or it'll be somebody that I'm like a gambling addict hitting the slot machines. Scam. All right. What the fuck is this? That looks like a scam. That's the scam. I mean, $213 for an unnamed knife from Farrah Monster. Look elsewhere, people. But I was going to say, a buddy of mine who's been hunting a stitch found two. Here you go. What's that look like? That was a knockoff, Space Ghost. So that's an M390 titanium relative. The same knife, I'm convinced, made in the exact same factory. And I think they do shady shit, like they make extras and they sell them unbranded. Because I mean, it's a perfect copy. So there's that, which makes me mad. But if you go through EMP EDC's entire line is now on Amazon. Now, granted, I know people who've purchased them and we've taken them apart, didn't do any filming on them. J Brother, that's the shady ass company that has all the different EMPs. I think they've got the Dimco for $29. They even call it a shark lock. But why aren't people sending Rocket Boy a cease and desist? I mean, look at that. Ultimate, it's like, how much was it? $36. Yeah, that's just, to me, it's ridiculous. And this is a SE clone, if I'm not mistaken. but they just seem to have a lot of shady shit. You got the bug outy looking thing. That's a Huoko because they're throwing other clones in here. The algorithm. But yeah, don't support that stuff, guys. I caught a lot of grief when I brought the EF 225 or 235 in here from Grow. I got it because I thought it would be good content because I thought it would be a piece of shit. It turned out to be a great knife. But with that in mind, I did a couple of videos on it, did a full disassembly on it to see what kind of hardware they were using, where they were cutting corners. And I couldn't find where they were cutting material corners. It was D2, but I gave it away. And then I fell in love with the Strider design. So from that one $79 copy or whatever it was on Amazon, I picked up 2 Protect Striders and 1 Strider. Well, Bezos, he goes rocket too, right? They're both racing in space. They'll probably have a space race, and nobody's going to write an insurance policy on that. Elon's is called SpaceX is Elon's. Bezos is called Blue Origin. Yep. Yeah, can you believe that? I can remember when Amazon was just books. And I can remember being someone who was an English major who swore I'd never read for pleasure. Now that's changed since I've gotten older, but because I never found it pleasurable. I couldn't believe that somebody had set up a internet bookstore. And I think he had the plan all along. And I'll tell you, I've tried to get my mom and have successfully gotten my mom onto Amazon to get stuff like her cat litter, the stuff that she has to get all the time. That's too heavy for her to carry out to her little car. So she found out that one of her credit cards, she could use, airline points. She doesn't do that. Or she could transfer it to Amazon. So she put her credit card number in Amazon, not to use it, but just to see what point balance she had. She had like $760. So now she's got her little balance in Amazon and she can go in there and shop. Jim Bomb, what is up, brother? Jim Miller, I don't know if I said hi to you, my man, but howdy, my friend. It's good to see you guys. Monday nights, I know, are hard. I know it's kind of a pain in the butt, but we've got them earlier. We've got KC and we've got Rob's Nerdy Knives. Stone Hands, what is up? So I'm just here as late as y'all want to be here. I get it that everybody's got stuff to do after a long weekend. Y'all are probably kind of worn out. The EF2, really, Paul? Is that the same one we're talking about? Because when I took mine apart, and I've got a video on it, it was the last video I made on it, and I caught grief for that too. But mine was fantastic. Now, I had lock stick on my original Strider, but it totally broke in. I mean, it's gone. The lock stick. And the action's so much better. And the one thing about the 225, if that's the one I'm thinking about, it's on bearings. Yeah, now I had the full tie. Did you have the full tie or did you have the carbon fiber? Because I can't speak to that one. But that's what I was hoping. I was really hoping that it would come in shitty. I could do a hate video because I rarely do or get to do slam videos because most of the time I'm reviewing my knives, and I've watched a lot of reviews, gotten a lot of ideas on what I like, and can tell, even if the review's negative, if I'm going to like the knife based on the weird stuff that I like. So I've bought a few turds, but it's very few, right? That's another reason, not because I want to give negative reviews, because I'm a big believer in if someone trusts you to review a knife, a prototype especially, you should give feedback and not put out a review if it's not ready. I think you can damage, not me, but I think there are companies that can damage, or channels that have a big enough reach that can hurt small companies. So, as long as they're selling them out, sending them out for people to check, I think it's only fair if you see things that are super shitty about it that you don't make a smash video. I'm not about that. I mean, I will definitely point out stuff that I don't like and things that I wish were better. And like on that Amazon knife, it got slammed, but it deserved it. So yeah, there's that. That's bizarre, Paul. Because I mean, I don't know if you saw the disassembly, but my scales were absolutely smooth. I want to say it had Delrin ceramic bearings. But the pivot, I could see how if the pivot was a little bit misshapen because it was a tube, and I'm sure it was made out of pot metal or something. Um, and there are a lot of companies, that really can do good work. Kunwu's one. I think Max Ace is on top of their game. That Max Ace out the front, Neptune is a budget knife that is just for $108 is a fantastic OTF. Just a banger. Just an absolute banger. But yeah, that fixed blade was pretty cool. I know he gets cool stuff, and usually if he thinks they are stone hands, let's go to Kunwu's site because I saw something on there. And if you're not, you might not be on Instagram, but if you're on Instagram, I would follow Kunwu Knives. But I know someone who's getting ready to go over there, who's one of their models. There are actually some in stock right now, and they're on sale for $219. Let me share my screen, guys. I don't have any affiliation with Kungwu, so I don't have a link, but I do have the information that you've got the blue Damascus for $219. These are all LMAX. You've got the titanium for $269. You've got the black DLC, diamond texture for $279. It looks like all versions are in stock. The satin's gorgeous. I got the stone wash, so this is the one I've got. And it was my knife of the year last year. It's so good. But yeah, I think if they're popular, they'll keep bringing them out. Oh, those are bar locks. Hold on a second. Let me go back. Oh no. Oh no. What in the world? They will do frame locks again. But yeah, don't get a bar lock unless you now. When I was doing my review, or doing my collection dive, this guy here, which I just don't respect the I don't like the detent of a bar style lock. But all that due respect, Kung Wu does it better than anybody because even though it doesn't have detent, it flies open. Now it doesn't have that snap that I like unless I really snap my finger. Whereas my big towel, which is the same knife, just a frame lock, has snap. So Kunwu, I'm sure will do more Padres in a frame lock. I also have I sold my S towel because it was redundant, but I've also got the Pulsar, but the bar lock is just smooth. And I put magnets, I put them in the wrong way. I've got to redo this magnet mod. I've got to get a different type of magnet, but I've got magnets in the butt here to give it a little bit of detent. But this knife, they're just now making it in a fixed blade, which looks super cool because it is a, I want to say let's go back there real quick. It is the Stiffy. So it's this knife, the Pulsar, but it is $119, and the blade is Venadius, HRC 63 to 65. So you're basically looking at the ergos of this knife in a fixed blade, which I think is pretty cool. And Venadius steel is a really good tool steel. I've got it in one of my Ace Grands in the St. Nick's Knives exclusive Ace Grand was Venadius or Vanadis. I forget how you pronounce it. So there's some knives out there or knife companies. What's up, Titanium Justin? There are some overseas manufacturers that are really, killing it. But there are also some that make really good knives, and then for some reason their designs show up on AliExpress and all that other stuff. And that's kind of shady. But tonight we're just looking at USA knives. We can look at any knives, but that's all that's on the table. This is a Cutlery Shop exclusive. Had orange scales. Shaman in Crewwear, I think. No, CTS XHP. Got my little A100. Let's pull that back up. What? It's a great little neutral, get it done kind of knife. And it's also got, I don't think it's designed for it, but you can front flip it. And then we've got our McNeese Mac 2 3.5 in Magna Cut, made in my home state. Probably one of the best value USA made knives, in my opinion. The Microtech Stitch Remlock. I love this knife. It's the sharpest factory knife that I've gotten. And for some reason, it's just locked up on me. And then I've got a TKL Piranha. A little small fixie. Made over in Georgia. A little Jacob Creates S90V chickadee that Honey Bear sold me. It was my first chickadee. Then one of my favorite EDC carries, I've got two of these little guys. This is my T. Denny Apprentice Gen 2 in Crewwear. Really thin, minimalist, kind of street scalpely cutty knife. Great for opening boxes, great for cutting paracord, great for protecting your Slurpee. And then a couple of GEC Barlows. Pocket Metal was kind enough to sell me that one. And then this was the one I picked up on the drop. And I don't know the names of these guys. This is the Northfield something pattern, blah, blah, blah. I know they're both 86s. I really like this knife for a slip joint. And this is coming from somebody who would not even have considered a slip joint a year ago, is maybe when I started. And then this is an SPK, Friday the 13th edition, Crewwear Lamia on bearings. Great knife. A little 3.0 Hinderer Warney with the flipper tab, which is a smaller version of the XM18. And these will all be included in the next case that we review, or not review, just kind of go over. And this is the Stars and Bars Infraction S35. And then my SNG Crosshatch G10 and PDS1 tool steel. And this started out, I couldn't flick it. It had lock stick every time, and it's gotten much, much smoother. And what I've learned about these knives after I experienced that Chris Reeves for a week is slow rolling is therapeutic. Stonehands Lamias, I picked up mine on NAS sale or Blade Binge for right around $750. I think they go for about $750 on drops. Somebody correct me because I haven't looked in a while. And the flipperless Hinder clips from Knife Joy, their flipperless edition, and I added a scale to that. So that was a $425 knife that turned into a $625 knife, but it's a great knife. Probably one of my favorite Hinders, even though I like the cutting geometry of the XM18 a little better. And then we've got a Strider, not a Strider, a Spartan Harsey folder, my Plague Doctor version. This is the full size. I've also got, this is the Magna Cut full size. I've also got a 3¼ inch in S45 because I really love the Plague Doctor. And when I picked up the 3¼ which is the one I got first, I just fell in love with the design. It was, again, something else I'd never considered. Kathleen, my favorite slip joint, dollar for dollar, everything considered. I have a hard time beating the QSP Hedgehog. I just love that knife. I don't have it out here because it's not a made in America knife. But this is my Protect Mordax. Fantastic. Perfectly ergonomical. Magna Cut. Great detent. Great plunge lock. Just a winner. And then the TRM Atom. Whoops. One of the sliciest knives on the table, if not the sliciest. This is the full-size version. I'm a huge fan of TRM. I love their blades. They're so thin. They're so gentlemanly, foldery, slicey. And then on the other side of that, we've got our Mini Adonis, which is probably one of the chunkiest knives on the table. This is in Crewwear, I think. Siebert design. Yeah, in Crewwear. And I'm convinced I could go stick this through a car door. It just feels like a hard worker. I love the axis lock on this particular knife. It's probably one of the best Benchmades in terms of action. It's got these advanced weapons technology, aluminum sniper gray scales on it, which got rid of the speed holes. I really dig it. And then lastly, my kind of showpiecey grail that I picked up from Dark Gravity. I was with him when he bought it. This is a Michael Ziba S5. He's in Brooklyn, New York. He's also a jeweler. So the back spacer are these brass or bronze skulls. This is the Odin pattern, so it's got all this Norse mythology, these ruins. Why is it not focusing? By the pivot. And then when you open it, it's got a Jason Knight blade. This was in 2020. This was the tactical knife of the year, not the frou frou one. That's the Jason Knight design blade. You got that sweet harpoon M390. And on the inside of the back spacer, you've got another little mystery ruin. B Shady is a new member. Thank you, brother. Where's my thank you, man. I think that was probably too loud for y'all. But the Zeba, I met him in Nashville at the Custom Knife Show. And this is just a full sized, kind of a safe queen. I promised Dark Gravity that I would carry it because he wasn't carrying it. That's the only reason he let it go. Because you can't find these. But to me, the back spacer is just, I want to know what it says. So I was repping the USA on this Memorial Day, and so grateful for all those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. The Mini Adamas is, and I'll tell you another great one. I think you've got one of these, Arkansas EDC. It's the Mini Loco. I think I saw a video or a short of you showing this knife. This is one of my favorite. This is the first production model of the Mini Loco S30V. But if you look at those standoffs, there it's just a beefier, thicker. Dynamite action. It's got a really nice pill-shaped hole. Oh, you got the full size? Awesome. Yeah, Angry Tom. I had one of those too. It's for what it is, I think it's kind of cool. I don't like that it's a recurve that small, but I ended up giving it away at a one of the Friday night flicks just because I have too many knives. But yeah, guys, after I do the rest of the import case, I've got to do the USA case, then the overflow case, and I'll mix in other videos in there so it doesn't get boring. And I'll keep them all on a playlist in case y'all want to go back and check them out. But then I've got probably 100 EDC fixed blades. I don't know how many I have. It'll be interesting. And I've got some slip joints. So hopefully it'll be finished up, if not by the end of the month, early next month. And I'm starting to really like my little mini Griptilian, the male part or the, what is it? Yeah, the male Pardue blade. It's a great little slicer. I don't have the full size. I've got the Ritter Hogue, and I've also got a mini Ritter Hogue because all truths, all things be told, I think it's the Ritter Hogue is a better value for what you get, personally. Yeah, I'll tell you, Angry Tom, and there's some in stock right now. If you like small fixed blades, I can put you on one that you will like. If they are still in stock, I should have just got up here and done that. And I know they've got them here because I saw them. Let's go do that. Let's go to nose. Let's go to fixed blades. Hold on, kids. Let me see where I know they've got. I'm going to be honest with you. I wish this site was more user friendly. So this is sending. Where's my little in stock thing? Because this little knife is about $64 before discount. So I'm just trying to get up to that range. But it's M390. It's about, I want to say, probably just a tiny bit bigger than the Jason Knight. God, I didn't know we'd have this many. No, I don't want that. All right, we're getting there. Hold on. How do we go from that to this? Now we're back down in the 20s. Damn it. Ooh, look. They've got that one I was telling you about, that little new Kaiser. And this is, you can get this on Kaiser's site right now. I thought this was a pretty cool little small EDC fixie. Little thin, pokey, stabby. Reverse edge, just a little plain Jane D2. Pokey. I like it. But anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. So let's go descending, ascending. Let's see how far we get. 32 out of 100. 47. We're getting there, guys. Oh, they sold it, but this is it right here. These come in stock, and I'll show you another one if you like small knives. This is a super sharp, full tang micarta M390. I'll put the link in the description. If you get any of these small Tucsons for $54 and you use Javon 10 or one of your other creator codes, save 10%. But this was in stock last week. And another really good one that I've had all these. I've had multiples of them. I've given away multiples of them because they're such good little knives. If you like a small EDC fixed blade, which I really do. The other one is a little bit on the small side. It's a little smaller than a Chickadee, but it's S90V. And it is this guy right here. They have it in all different handle materials. I wouldn't get the Damascus. I would get one of the S90Vs. What was the number on that? 150. But I've had, I think, 3 of these little guys. They're S90V, $44. Now, don't be thrown off by the big belt clip because I put an ulti clip on one. The grommets are big enough, and I put some straps so I can carry it like the one I'm carrying today. And we'll do what'd you carry. So blue scales for a Tuya bruiser. I would reach out, Grizzly Bear, or do you know who, let me go to Amazon. Let me go to Instagram real quick and I'll show you. You know who Jay Dizzle is? Jay Drizzle? Are you on IG by chance? I'll show you somebody to. Or is it? Jay Dizzle, not Jay Drizzle. But this guy, whoops. This is your guy. Or Pro X. I don't know anybody who sells Tuya replacement scales, just, somebody like Original Goat or anybody like that. But he's very reasonable and just does some fire stuff. I'll drop his link in the chat. Let's do this. Mark, what's up, buddy? I'm missing everybody. Steven came in. Y'all go follow Grizzly Bear Leather Crafting if you're not on Instagram. And I just threw up Jay Dizzle's designs. Grizzly Bear, give him a follow. DM him about those scales. I had the Alan Foltz. I know that's not the one you're talking about. The CRKT, and I got some of the Flatanium Flatanium G10 scales. It made it super, super comfortable, but we gave that away. I do like the minimalists. I think that they're great knives. I had that Alan Foltz up until about 6 months ago. We gave it away. I wonder if I've done a video on this knife. Let me check something. I just went squirrel brain on y'all. Give me 1 second. Where is it? Where is it? Where in the hell? Beaver Baron, what's up, brother? Delaney needs a wrench. Let me get to it. And guys, there will be a video coming up tomorrow for a member giveaway for Friday night. A really cool one. There's Delaney. Whoop. With wrenches, with great power comes great responsibility. Use it to share links. MPG, EDC, what's going on? Rob's Nerdy Knives. Howdy, buddy. What's the deal with weird ads? I get that in some lives I don't. I mean, I know that they're ads on the replays and when you start, but yeah, that's bizarre. Have y'all seen the Big Idea Company fixed blade? And I'm not going to get into my thoughts there on anything, but I thought it was a neat looking little fixed blade. Let me show y'all this and see what you think. Because that's something I'd really like to get more of to show, because I do enjoy them. And I carry them every day because we're getting ready to do a pocket check. This guy right here. Oh, oops. It is M390 titanium handle. $200. Get 10% off of that. But I thought it was a pretty slick looking little knife. 6.2 inches, so it's a little guy. I kind of like it though.
Hey everybody, Brantley.
Kind of a fan. I don't like the whole. The cool little blade. And there's so many cool ones out there. The one I just saw when we were on White Mountain Knives, I think I just go to Fixed Blade most recent. There's one, I want to say it's Merif. No, it's not that. Hold on. But it's a USA made little all right. This is the jankiest freaking site in the world. All right, where are the fucking Fixed Blades? Knives. I don't want you to scroll everything behind me. All right, this is ridiculous. Y'all are slowing my jam down. Not you guys, but you know what I mean. Let's go from not relevance. Oh, that's fucking bizarre. Why doesn't it show you from? I'm about to get off this site. This is driving me crazy. I apologize. All right, I'm bailing on this because it's not going to let me find it. Coming back, getting off their site so that video will quit playing. Dude, I bet that is awesome. You know, YouTube, I found out even on videos I've had demonetized that I have to go back in and say, no, I wasn't using that. I took the music out or whatever that played on the video that I showed in the background. And the whole time the video's demonetized for about 3 days, it still shows ads. You're right. They're gonna get theirs. They should be killing it, Rob. I mean, if you go to, we did this little exercise the other night because I'm a digital marketer by trade. That's what I do. But if we go over here to Google's and we go top global websites, that's your top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So YouTube's number 2. But if you go further and you go top search engines, well, they're not showing it, but YouTube is actually the second most popular search engine because even though it doesn't show, people search not just YouTube for stuff, but if I go in here and I go how to fix a Maytag, a MacBook, how to fix a MacBook. So these are your top results. You're going to have your Apple, and then you're going to have videos. And every one of these videos lives on YouTube. So I say that because traffic that goes to Yahoo and Bing that are owned by the same company are less. There's less combined traffic that go to both of them than go to YouTube. And YouTube's owned by Google, so it only makes sense that they're integrated very deeply in the overall search algorithm, not the YouTube algorithm, but the search algorithm. I find it kind of fascinating. I think that shit's pretty cool. Again, I don't know. Paul Mills, where has made a donation. and wish Rob's Nerdy Knives a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Rob. And thank you, Paul Mills. I appreciate you guys. If I wasn't so bad at the chat, nobody'd have to leave a chat for me to get it. B for Baron's got something. I'm going to have to click on it on my other chat. I can't, unfortunately, click on StreamYard links. Bubba shot the jukebox. Yeah, well, I used to, and I love going through and even just looking at like crazy YouTube videos, right? So if we go to my homepage and just go to YouTube, you'll see that I get recommended crazy shit because I watch crazy shit, right? But none of it's anything I really want to watch. And if I go to subscriptions, that's why it's so hard, I think, for people to find videos. I know more people that I'm subscribed to put up videos. But so I'll get on here and I'll go to Reels on live. And I'm not sharing it by design because typically what happens is I'll be looking at a cougar or something doing something crazy. You know, I'll be just looking at shorts, scrolling through, sharing them as we look at them kind of together. And I'll inadvertently hit the sound and instantly get a strike. And I don't think widespread would strike me, but why aren't they playing? This is one of my OG bands that I used to see all the time, like at college. I had him, Michael Alger, who passed away of pancreatic cancer, and John Bell stay at my house in Ochapoka, about 7 miles outside of Auburn, when they were playing Auburn one weekend. Yeah, they're good. Well,
get out my face, man. You guys are harassing me.
You got to mute that shit or you'll get in trouble. And sometimes the filters will catch stuff. She's badass. She does. That's not really a big thing. She does all kinds of crazy bushcraft and stuff like this right here. But she's legit because she does all kinds of crazy stuff. Just little tips and stuff like that. But she does all kinds of like outdoor, all environment type stuff. But anyway, anytime I share stuff on YouTube lately, I get struck. And then I've got to go in there. Vertical lives do bring in more people, without a doubt. And North Alabama, buddy. Hey guys, hold on 1 second. I've got to go take care of something real quick. I'm going to leave y'all with the screen and I will be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Started pouring, and Tippy's out there with her friend cat, but they're probably hunkered down somewhere. What did I miss? What did I miss? Stevie, it started pouring and I had to run out and look for the cat. No, yeah, I wish. That's funny. Yeah, I bailed out. It started pouring here, and I went out and tried to rescue Tippy and her new friend. She's got I say friend. They're really not friends, but they hang out together and they stay about 15 feet apart from each other. Give you a little taste. If I can find her. Give me 2 seconds. I'll probably get a copyright strike for showing my content. Crazy. Where is it? I throw up too many shorts. Here it is. So Chippy's the black cat, and the cat that showed up and shows off is this yellow cat right here. And it's got a flea collar on. I don't know if it moved into the neighborhood or if it's just been abandoned. But they've kind of got a love-hate relationship going on. But she'll come back here in a second just soaking wet, and she will be absolutely pissed. And she'll come run over everything. Have a great night, MPG EDC. Kathleen, have a great night, sweetheart. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate all you guys. B for Baron, thank you, brother. Delaney is a guitarist for Mark Chestnut. Nice. He is awesome. I had Scott on NPC EDC right after Matisfaction sent me that bloom that went around to some of the pass around groups. I found it amazing. I think he does amazing work. As a matter of fact, I crept through his live stream this morning while I was going in and out of consciousness and watched him do his shop stuff. He is a fantastic maker. Rob's been a member for 5 months. Thank you, brother. Feels like yesterday. I forgot to cheer for y'all. Y'all, I've got the funky effects now, and I think I've got them all where they actually work. So I've got, let me go to my Cole voice. This is my radio voice. What's going on, people? It's 1988, and we're sitting here rocking your latest tunes. That's pitch up.
And that's when I take off my voice changer. That's my normal Cole voice.
I've got gunshots. I've got music. One night I actually had my Paul Reed Smith plugged into this, and I was trying to, I don't have enough room back here to play just a little riff when somebody would do something, but the sound is shitty, of course, coming out of the Paul Reed Smith, so I need to go out of my little Yamaha amp, and I haven't had the space or the time or the fortitude to come over here and fuck with that. I should. But yeah, Delaney, dude, that's just, that's impressive. Keep strumming. I've started to get trolls and some. See, I've started to try to get into my comments. I've been really bad about that, and it's not because I don't care or I'm not humbled by them. It's just because Rocky's back. Chris, what's up? But I just never go there. I forget about them, right? Uh-oh.
I need to go check those, dude. They're hilarious, Stevie. I think you should come for everybody equally. It's hilarious. Anybody, you shouldn't take yourself too seriously, especially on the internet. So, anyways, I had some guy and I shared it in one of the little groups, but I think I've still got the comment. Let me see if I can find it. Because I pinned it. I actually pinned this comment because I thought it was so good. He goes, "You flick a lot of knives," or she, "you must be a very annoying person." And I said, "Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm quite annoying." Where was it? Where was it? Let me find it. But I just love troll comments. I mean, some people get all put down by them, and and if some people give good advice, some of it I'll take, some of it I won't because I can't, or I don't want to, or I don't care, because I care about the people, not as much the presentation. I mean, I look at Metal Complex, and he doesn't seem to be super flashy, and I mean, I'm sure he's got a better setup. When I get enough drama amassed, I'm going to come out with just like weekly shit on the scammers, piss on the thieves, people that are shady, that are doing things that I think are shady, because I've got the platform. They can come back at me, but it's going to be like just old school drama shit. I'm all for it. And I think I can pull it off because I've played the nice guy for so many years that if I come out and start delivering tea on channels, I think at least for a week, people will be like, damn. Then I'll probably get deplatformed. We get into that sometimes. We get into really whatever. Josh, it would be hard for me to not break bad, but break narc or break tea disher, because it's just so everything against what I believe in. It's just it's funny to me. Because the whole thing is, anytime you put out anything on the internet, somebody's got there are people out there that thrive on hate, right? I mean, they might be happy people, but they might stay that way because they vent on people all day long. Maybe twisted, but I'm not a psychologist. Who am I to say? But yeah, what's up, David Jewell? Good to see you, brother. Channel member. I appreciate you guys. Let's see if anything, I don't know if anything new's come in. I don't look at new arrivals like I used to see what cool stuff's coming in. I do notice that knives that used to sell out right away are staying in stock longer. And it's not just, ooh, very nice. My favorite guitarist that was really a big inspiration for me, Michael Hauser, Widespread Panic, would play Soldano head with Mesa Boogie cabinets, and that was in '87. I've got a Fender Blues Deluxe tube that's hooked up to my main pedal board, and then I've got a little Vox modeling amp that's just kind of was my practice amp, and then I got the little Yamaha, I forget what, it's that little tan small practice amp. But yeah, I used to before I fell into the knife game, because I'm very, I guess you say, compulsive, and when I get into a hobby, but I started building my pedal board and started getting all back in right before COVID. I started getting hard back into building out my rig, even though I wasn't playing anywhere except in my house. I've got acoustics that I play, but I also like to get loud, and I like to model my tone, which is kind of hacky because I'm a hack anyway. But I was doing that, and then moved just literally right across the neighborhood, and saw the first Knife video. I forget if it was a Blade HQ. I want to say it was Zach and Ben Banners doing their thing. Knife Nut 69, channel member, what's up, brother? But I started watching knife videos, and then I bought the CRKT CEO, and then I bought a QSP Penguin, a Civivi Elementum, a CJRB Rhea. I think I can't remember the fit, and something else. Maybe it was a Kaiser, but just started getting that dopamine rush of having something inbound. I wish there was some on the internet, dude. And that was when I was playing out and I was shitty. You would have a great time listening to it because I sang and played rhythm guitar. And we covered all the music you hate, hippie music, pretty much. Allman Brothers Band, Grateful Dead, Widespread Panic. But we didn't have that technology. I've got my buddy, Ab Taylor, who was the best man at my wedding, who's my lead guitar player guy. He's had a mini disc recorder. I don't know if y'all remember the little mini square disc that had the round disc in them. Well, we had a rack system that we ran our Mackie board through because our power amp was in it, and we had that mini disc player lined into it. And so we would record all of our little concerts, our little gigs, whatever you want to call them. And our mixes were never worth a shit in the system, right? Because we weren't in control of the floor. But Walter Becker is the shit. Love Walter Becker. Love me some David Gilmour. Huge fan of Billy Strings. I don't know if y'all. It is great live music, Stevie. It is great head music too. That's what I think. What I think would be cool, and I think the sound's suffering from what I've heard on Grateful Dead radio, but the Dead and Co. are doing their residency at the Sphere right now. And I don't know if y'all have seen any of those videos on YouTube. But the Sphere is that new place out in Vegas that is a Sphere, and it's totally multimedia type shit. So where the weird thing about it is there is no, the stage is just a little stage. And what they were talking about is the Dead has never played where they just plug in to a system, right? So there's this little stage, there's no roadies. There's a Sphere built in California where Fish and the Dead and other bands practice that aren't used to playing through these just plug and play systems. But check out, this thing has like, I forget if it's 20, 30 stories. I've got a wet cat back. But watch some of the transitions in this shit. I don't even know what they're playing. But it gets real. And can you imagine you're in there, the Sphere full of people, and you're just tripping balls. And this shit starts to happen. Trying to get to where it changed. Here you go. That was kind of challenging. Straight up. I'm telling you, it is trippy. And then they've got, since the stage is so small, they've got close-ups of people. They've got, I mean, some of the stuff is so, I mean, it's just like, I can't imagine that. I saw that shit back in the 80s and 90s, and I wasn't in the Sphere. So I cannot imagine being in that mindset and actually having that kind of multimedia experience. Because it's definitely immersive. Anywho, hippie bands for the win. I never got to see Floyd. Damn it. But I do love Gilmore. Weren't they the ones that opened it? They are I used to love War, October. I was in college. U2 was the shit for me because I was into alternative music. I loved them, but they just got so blah, so cheesy. I mean, Bono can sing. Edge plays delayed out music. I've never been able to get Fish. There are a couple of songs like Bouncing Around the Room, Tweezer. There's some songs I like, but I could not go to a Fish show. I would not be, I'm one of those people that don't get it, right? And I've listened to some really weird stuff. But Fish, they're super talented. I mean, Trey is amazing. Yeah, early U2 was great. I mean, I will follow some of the simplest songs. It was just because Bono, they were young, they were hungry. And you had Pride in the Name of Love. You had Sunday Bloody Sunday. I mean, they were like a band with purpose, right? They had a message to deliver about Ireland. And my favorite, I was at a U2 Live Aid concert in college. And before they sang Bad, which is one of my favorite tunes, I didn't know it was about this, but Bono said, on my friend's 19th birthday, his best friend gave him enough heroin to kill him. This song is bad. And there's another concert that I've heard, this live disc, where he goes, in Dublin, you have your good and you have your bad. And he's talking about, if you listen to the lyrics, it's about trying to get somebody to stop doing heroin and not being able to get them to stop, and they just drift away. Yeah, Fish, I mean, I totally respect them. It's just when I listen to the stuff that is supposed to be in the genre that I really like, it just doesn't really appeal to me for some reason. Fish, and I don't know, it's not the singing, because I really like, have y'all ever heard of Humphreys McGee? Has anybody heard of Humphreys? I don't think they'll copyright strike me. So they play originals, but they also do a lot of mix-ups. Let me share this. But they're a jam band that has one of the best guitar players in the game. We've got a guest on stage. Let's find a different version of this. Let's find a different version. I don't want to wait. Never mind. But anyway, y'all go check out Humphreys McGee. They are the shit. And then if y'all have not checked out Billy Strings, what's up, Midnight? He is so good. I mean, that dude can play electric. He can play acoustic. He can play Pearl Jam. He can play Led Zeppelin. He can play bluegrass. If you just go to YouTube and go Billy String covers, we were talking about Pink Floyd. Check this out. Where'd it go? So you've got, let's do just covers because the one that is the best is the one they did in Asheville Halloween, second set. Let's do this. Hold on. That's not it. String cheeses is pretty good too. That's the whole concert. I don't want the whole concert. Oh. Let's do this. Damn it. This is pretty good. I'll get copyright stuff for this, but maybe not. Let's fast forward. So he doesn't just play bluegrass. I mean, he plays everything from Paranoid. Let's see if this is where's Paranoid? Hold on. It was War Pigs. That's what it was. It's off the Battle of Evermore. So this is. And then they do this.
Yeah.
Shitty sound, but it's an audience recording.
Just like witches at black masses. Evil minds and plot destruction.
They're such a tight band. I mean, when you watch these guys live, I've seen them live twice. Once in a little club.
Fields of bodies burning. As the war machine.
But that dude could play the phone book. I'm convinced. I mean, he could literally play the freaking phone book. That's Halloween concert. Yeah, I'll do that 5-door. I'll have flashback nights, and y'all know I'll just go off on a tangent. Let me grab the cat. Hold on. Move. Got a wet ass cat in here now. Ooh. Not one of my favorites. I've got one, buddy. But the tan one's just one that comes by. He usually comes by around 2 or 3 o'clock at night in the morning, and he'll just come sit on the porch. And every now and then he comes and hangs during the day. Ditto Crispy. I forgot what it feels like unless it runs under my hand. That's funny, Paul. Drink water. What's up, brother? So, talking about carries real quick, I tried to go All American today and carried my Jurassic, which is kind of a little bit smaller than the XM18. And then I carried my little keychain GEC slip joint that I bought from Pocket Metal. That little guy. Keto, have fun. So Tippy's just going to sit her wet ass on my fucking knives and scratch. I appreciate that, Tip. And then I carried on my belt, I carried my little Kyle Coonley sharpened MagnaCut Chickadee. So those were what I carried today on Monday and didn't leave the house. And I don't think I cut anything. I cut something in an unboxing. Let me show y'all a knife that I've already boxed back up because it's not mine. But this is pretty wild. I didn't even know these existed. Give me a sec. Hey, Tippy, fuck off. So I did not know that Boker did such a thing. This is a Boker Plus made in Italy. And each year they do what's called their collection knife. So the name of this knife is the Boker Collection 2023. It's 223 of 400. This number is MagnaCut 62 to 64. The designer's an American designer, Sal Manero. Been completed in Italy. It is MagnaCut and titanium. It's the weirdest knife, guys. Get your foot off my areas. Got a wet foot on my areas. Got one thumb stud. It's got Damascus pivot collars. Wicked spear point MagnaCut blade. The thumb stud is so unique because it's like a little stud with this little grippy thing out on the front, and you don't even have to think about it. It's only on one side. And this thing lists for $499.95. But the quality of it, the centering, this little detail, I don't know if my phone's going to do it justice, but this back spacer sits a little proud of the scale, but it's just micro jimped. And the action is just snap. You can't fail it. But yeah, I did an unboxing overview on that because I'd never seen one. He picked it up at our local knife store, Knives and More, with a Herman, and he got something else. He took a couple of knives down there to trade. But yeah, I'd never seen one of these. But this is a Boker collection 2003. That's the name of the knife. If you Google Boker Plus Collection 2003, this is what you'll find. There are only 400 of them, so I'm sure you can get them on the secondary. But very well made. And I was surprised they publish their HRC on the Magna Cut. So that was kind of cool. A to Z EDC, if you guys aren't following, I'll show you real quick his Instagram page. He's my local buddy. I actually got him back into knives when I started getting into knives, and he can outflex me at will. But he does let me borrow a lot of stuff when I want to review something. He's got a couple of Strix coming in, but that's the Herman he picked up at the Ishtar from Knives and More. But if I was you guys, I would give him a follow. He's got some pretty cool stuff. He bought this. Do you recognize that, Paul? As whiny as he was, he loves that knife. And then this is a driver defense custom Dustin driver with what's that called? Semiconductor. It looks like copper, but it's called semiconductor. And then this is I forget, this guy's in Jackson, Tennessee. But yeah, I'd give old A to Z a follow. He's got some pretty cool stuff. Like this weird USA made knife. This Wilkins that's got a bar lock back before the bar lock was available to be used. I don't know how that worked out. I don't know if they knew each other, because that's a low yield custom. They don't make a lot. Tippy. But yeah, A to Z is a good guy. He's the dude. Stevie had lunch with him. We sat in the hall together, I think, at Blade Show 2022. Take care, Delaney, buddy. Great seeing you, my friend. We won't be going too much longer, because I know it's a work night for most people who are employed. I'm employed, but I'm doing this kind of, it's not really my gig. It's kind of an eat what you kill type of thing. And it's a long buying cycle with what I work with, because somebody's usually under contract. I'm reading their analytics and coming up with ways to sow dissent into what they're doing so that I can offer something when their contract's up. But it's not like a quick fix type of thing. It's life. Yeah, Paul Mills is on the same sleep schedule that I'm on. And Josh, stuff sits around forever. I've got and I don't check that email, but I need to go to Blade Binge. I've got a knife on Blade Binge that has just been sitting there. And I've got it, if I put it on eBay, which I don't eBay, but my buddy A to Z does, and he's offered to do it for me, I think it would move right away. But I've got my Tianto on there for $350, and I don't even think I've had a nibble, unless I'm getting emails and I'm not paying attention to them, because I don't check that email address much. Let me see here. I would have thought I'd been banned by then. Let's go to messages. Nope. Nope. The last message I had from Blade Binge was the kid I called out on trying to sell his little nip for 300 and something bucks. I mean, ever since I got it made the shift in life from my corporate world. I'm more productive at night. That's when I do, like, I've got to record the video that I'm releasing tomorrow, and I've got videos staged out, so I don't record them last minute. But tonight I have to record the next 11 knives in case number 2 so I can finish it next day, which would be Wednesday. And then get into regular videos, whatever those are, before I get into case number 3. That's what I do, Paul. I take little, I still probably average 5 hours throughout a 24-hour period, but I think sleep's overrated. I mean, I did a lot of sleeping when I was younger. In college, I slept all the time. I could get into sleep. Sleep was one of my favorite things to do besides party. But no, I think when you get to be a certain age, you're like, man, it's just, there's too much to do. And at night, it's so quiet. That's true. But how much of it do you think? And I know different companies have different stories, but I wonder what their capacity is versus the fact that they're just trying to keep their prices inflated. I don't know which is necessarily, because I'm not in the business. I know that for 11 years, I was a marketing director and vice president of a very high-end cabinet company where we would sell 36-inch vanities in 1999, 2000 for $2,400. I mean, they were like for multi-million-dollar houses, couple $1,000,000 houses. And you would think we were getting rich on those, but we weren't. I mean, it took so much time, labor, materials to make them, because we were doing it all by hand. That was our kind of competitive advantage, I guess you'd say. And it was designed to look like furniture. So, I don't know how much of it's that. I know Dimco's trying something different. I don't know if y'all saw MC's video on that new Dimco 8020 that for some reason is the same price, $425, as a G10 American Dimco, but it has an Italian ground blade on it. Did y'all see that video? And the reason being, according to Miss Complex, is that Dimco can only produce the knives they can produce, and they sell out instantly. I didn't know this, but the Dimco 8020, according to Miss Complex, sells out faster than any other knife right now. It's the most in-demand knife. So they're using the same materials. Everything is built by them except the blade is ground and comes to them from Italy. And the goal there is to be able to have more Dimcos in the market, but they're not dropping the prices. But I think it should be, and Metal Complex did too, it should at least be $20 or $30 less. Here, I'll show you guys. I mean, he said it was indistinguishable because he had all 3 of them there, right? So he had his 8020.5, he had his American 8020, and he had the one that they call the Dimco 8020i. So it's got an I designation to it. And so if we go to videos, and we find this one right here.
Here at Sticky Brand, we know better stickers. We know that our stickers.
Hey guys, 10 blades. They've got S35VN blades. They've got titanium and 3V, titanium and 20CV. There's a whole bunch of. Yeah, jimping's a little bit different.
So
right off the bat, it feels. But the question here is, does this feel up to par with this guy? Because at that price, it should feel very similar. Okay, so immediately right off the bat, because I've handled, I used to have a G10, like a basic, lightly. No, there's no way. Let's measure it here directly from the tip. I hear people say things like Italian heat treating when it comes to M390 or 20CV is always low. The entire country? No. I'm sure it's case by case, but I still have no idea. Right? I know exactly what it's heat treated at. This is quite a bit more impressive than I thought it was going to be.
CPM 20 CV.
20.5 to get, even
So
if it
again,
is
the goal is,
indistinguishable.
and the point of that is, it came off the, are they holding back to keep prices up, or are they trying to do whatever? I agree. 5-door. Again, you got to consider the source. What I'm looking at is, and I could have gotten one in Nashville, but if I really wanted one and I was missing drop after drop after drop, I wonder if I would be, because those are available evidently on Knife Center. So I personally don't know if I'd go for one, because I had a chance to get a G10 second, a G10 new, or a titanium new, like I reviewed that my buddy A to Z got. And the knife's too big for me. It's something, I've got 480 20.5s, a shark cub. That's more my size. And I've got some big knives, but the 80-20 to me is even bigger feeling than this. I will say I have an Ace Biblio, and everybody's Biblios had shitty heat treats. I've only sharpened mine twice. It burrs up like a champ. It is slicey, and I think it's got a good heat treat. I think, you're going to get a couple of, what do they say, broken clocks right twice a day. So you're going to have some that are in the right place, that are getting the right combination of temperature, because they're trying to set it at that, you would think. Night, midnight. Glad you stopped by, buddy. Glad you are here. I appreciate all of you. We'll go till about, we'll go for about 15 more minutes, because I know it's getting late. And if I don't shut it down, everybody will feel like they need to hang, or some people will feel like they need to hang. I don't want to feel like I'm holding y'all hostage. And I'm not trying to be live as much as I have been lately, because Friday night's the night that I go live for Friday Night Flicks. But every other Saturday, Lefty and I had been doing Off the Edge, and he's been doing a lot of stuff around the house, getting ready for another baby coming into the house, stuff like that. So I've been taking that up every other Saturday just because it's on the schedule. And then Metal Mondays, usually I sit in with Pocket Metal, and he's been busy. I'm a total night owl, Chris. I really need to start doing more business somehow with China, where I can be making calls and doing stuff, because I'm most productive at night. I guess because I've gotten my internal clock switched. Because I used to be, when I'd get up at, and I still get up, or I'm still up at 5:30. But that was my time. So I'd get up at 5:30. I would probably peak out in productivity about 9 to 2. Those were my most productive hours in the day. I mean, I was productive throughout the day, but that's when I kind of hit my stride. But now I'm groggy till around 6:30, 7 o'clock. Whoa. Well, howdy. I just had a cat come sit in my lap because I'm in her chair, she thinks. You want to say hey to Tip? What's up, Craig Vincent? Double D, the slicer is such a great blade shape. They didn't have it in the 20.5 when I was getting them, because none of mine have the new pivot, the metal pivot. Mine they all have modded scales, but they have the old pivot. I've got a 3V, a K12, and 2 Aus 10A or whatever it is. But my Shark Cub that I picked up in Nashville has the slicer blade, and it is awesome. And that's the one that's on MC's video from Italy that he got, has a slicer blade. He didn't know that, which surprised me. Or he didn't mention it. Chris, new member, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, Johnny, you got KC, and then you've got Rob, Metal Mondays. I like Metal Mondays when the old Pocket Metal's here. I try to represent with slip joints, but I just don't have the knowledge. I don't have really the knowledge of any of it except stuff I've just gone through. Whoops. So Tippy's just taking over my table. She's trying to get maximum moisture spread across all my knives. She'll shift and come down to this other side here shortly. Yeah, the whole heat treat thing, there are two things, and I thought about making videos on it, and it would be, Paul, I love it because it's a limited edition. It's got that different pattern because it was just for the Nashville Knife Show, but we can definitely talk about it. Nothing's forever, but that's one that I'm currently loving. Now I've got, well, my 20.5s weren't the ones you like, but there are two things that I've thought about making videos about, but I know they would turn people sideways. One is heat treats and all the, conversations about heat treat. And the other is spine whacking. I could do a fucking weekly series on spine whacking and my thoughts on how fucking ignorant it is to use the wrong side of your knife. And if you're going to hard use something, I don't care if it's a ram lock, I don't care if it's a triad lock, use a fixed blade. Use a $200 TCAL. Don't worry about it. You can spine whack this all you want. But when I look at people that spine whack frame locks, you're weakening your lock every time you whack it. And when you hold a knife the way you're supposed to hold a knife, not from back here, but you're putting more pressure on that frame lock. I'm sorry, that lock's not going to fail if I use it responsibly. So, if I take a knife and I point it at me and jab it a little bit into my skin to where I bleed, is that the knife's fault? No. So if you're going to spine whack shit, spine whack fixed blades. It's easy to carry one. And HRC, I think different knives, different makers have different reasons for making steels for different reasons, harder or softer. And it's just personally me, I'm not a hard use guy. I'm rarely going to know the difference. Now, I do know when I have bad steel because I like sharpening steel. To me, that's something that's kind of therapeutic. I like to sharpen my knives. So yeah, everybody wants a good heat treat, but I'm not going to obsess over it and constantly push somebody like Rick Hinderer, who's been building knives forever, to raise their heat treat or use different materials that they're comfortable using when they've been doing it right, at least by their main market, has never seemed to have a problem with it until somebody HRC tested it. And I know, like with MagnaCut, because I know Dark Gravity broke a blade trying to kind of flex it back into position. I know and I don't know how it works, but I know as that HRC number goes up and your edge retention goes up, your likelihood of breaking it is more, right? Snow Trog, I've got I think this XM18 is an S45. It is. And I put a 19-degree edge on that one time. So I got through, reprofiled it. I've cut wood with it. I haven't had to sharpen it again. But again, I'm not a hard use guy. Whoops. But I haven't had that much to say about it. I mean, but again, I haven't run it into steel, cut a strap with it, you know, that was metal where it got a big roll. But I'd rather my blade roll a little bit than chip if I'm going to sharpen it out. But everybody could do better. And I think the goal, if we take this into a whole psychological, philosophical thought, we can all do better, right? We should all strive to do better. And I think if you've got a knife company that's trying to keep the bills paid, trying to keep their employees employed, and trying to meet the demand that they have a hard time keeping up with, for them, it's kind of going to be hard to shift and do a lot of different stuff because you got to think about it. They're running their asses off, I would think, to meet the demand, even if they're sitting for a little while now. Because if anybody wants a Hinder XM18 slicer, they're everywhere. I think they're 20 CV. Let's see. Maybe they're S45. Let's go. Not slicer, Skinner. I'm sorry. And that's my favorite blade shape. I've got it in a 3-inch, but let's go. So every Hinderer dealer has these in stock, and this was and is probably the rarest blade. And it's S45 too, though. I'm sure it is. I mean, Paul, I don't disagree that it gets better when it's at the right heat treat, but do y'all have the knife steel book from Laren? To me, it's kind of confusing. It's a great book. But his videos are really good too. But when you look at, and where I got a lot of this information was from Dark Gravity, because Dark Gravity works for Alcorn Steel. He's a manager there, but he used to work in a heat treating facility. He's heat treat certified. He's got all these metallurgical, kind of like you would look at doctors' books, and they've got all the different recipes for what they're heat treating for, right? So there's a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? There are a lot of variables with what you're heat treating, what its purpose is, what the purpose of that, like if your purpose is a knife steel, what is the purpose of that steel going to be doing? So I think if everybody could hit optimal heat treats, that would be great, but I don't know if it's a one size fits all thing. A, I don't know enough about it, and B, I just don't care. Because I've never had a knife that I've gone to open an Amazon box and the blade's folded on me. I've never had a knife that I've whacked bamboo or whacked wood when I'm camping that had a problem. I've got a K-bar kukri that I chipped chopping up some plastic lawn furniture. I sharpened it out. You know, to me, they're tools and you want them to be optimal, but that's just not realistic because I think everybody has different use cases and expectations. And I don't think we could ever make everybody happy. And what'll happen is once somebody does and the market reacts positively, like starts buying their knives in mass and other companies see that it actually does swing markets and it does either erode their market share or let them see that the market is responding to these numbers, then they might change, you know? I mean, but I just don't think, I think right now to be a business in America is hard as fuck. I don't think it's an easy environment to do business in, especially as a small business, knife maker, knife company. So I think innovation is always should be on the forefront, but at the same time, there are a lot of factors where I don't want to see any of these guys go out of business. And it wouldn't be because they went to a higher HRC, but if it puts a snag in their production line while they're trying to get something that works right, I don't know if they've got time to do that and meet their demand. I get it, but the potential is a range, Kyle. And I think even the metallurgists, I don't think it's and again, I'm not the one that knows. You know about it much more than me. And I can tell when the difference in soft steel and good steel on a stone. But if it cuts 25 less feet of cardboard, I'm not going to notice that because I'm not going to cut enough cardboard to get to that point in any given time to where I'd be able to say this is better or worse than knife B. But I don't know if it's an exact science. I don't know if, even though the books say this is optimal, I think there are a lot of makers who have worked towards that and found other issues that come out, i.e., chips over rolls, tooling issues, the whole nine thing. Well, I know you do, Kyle, and I'm not arguing with you. I'm just, and I love you too. I'm just saying, for me, as one of the rare people who just uses their knives to carry and cut paper and shit, spine wax mean nothing to me, and HRC means nothing to me because I know the companies that I buy are doing. They're not going to put out something that the whole community is just going to fucking shit on. That's going to fail. So I get it, but for me personally as a user, but I'm paying for action. I'm not paying for subpar performance because my main purpose for buying a knife, because I'm a weirdo, is not to see how much shit I can cut. I buy it for action, for the way it makes me feel, for the way I like it. Or I don't, it's just one of those things. And a good HRC is always desirable. For example, this is a driver defense splinter 6465 MagnaCut. And it's fantastic. It opens Amazon boxes like a fucking beast. But here is a 20 CV Hinderer that might have a much softer heat treat, but it opens Amazon boxes. Great. I also profile that back to 19 degrees. But I buy them more for the enjoyment of the knife. Not that I don't use it, because I use all my knives. And I carry 3 knives usually every day. And I agree that the maker should be giving everybody the best for their budget. But at the same time, for me personally, it's just not that important, because I feel like the reputable companies are doing the best within what they think they should do for whatever reason they've deemed to be that. And I'm not a knife manufacturer. I'm sure it's different for McNeese, who has some of the best heat treated, best edge retention MagnaCut, according to Stossa, that he's tested. He can do a lot more controlled, I would think, heat treats, or he might send these out, I think, than somebody else. And then you've got Spyderco, who does what people think are great heat treats. I just personally don't notice much difference in my daily use, in my daily cutting. Well, I agree, dude. I think it's totally, everything y'all are saying is valid and it's real, and I'm not arguing with it at all. I'm just saying, to me personally, it's not a determinative factor where I go, God, I love that knife, but I know it's the blade comes from Italy and it's going to be a couple of points softer. Most people would say, or a lot of people would say, well, that's not acceptable to me. for me, that would be acceptable. You know, if it was 56, 57, you know, probably not. But if it was on the low side of the acceptable range and I love the design, I'm not going to pass on the design because of that. Now, if I was a trapper in Arkansas or in Alaska and I had to have my knife to survive, I'd probably have a totally different perspective, and I probably wouldn't be watching YouTube videos to get that perspective because I'd be living and surviving with my knife all the time, so I'd know what works and what doesn't. I always jokingly say opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and I know the HRC argument is all based in fact. It's a real deal. You can test it, so it's fact, but it's just like facts that some cars are faster than other cars, but some people don't appreciate the speed as much as the lines, if that makes sense. And that was a bad analogy. OF, baby. Be a little chicken hawk. Kyle Coonley, 100% legit. And that's why I love this community, because everybody has different, I call them almost psychological defects or quirks. What we do, why anybody would buy more than a knife, maybe a knife and a fixed blade. No one needs more than that. But to me, it's my addictive brain, because I'm an addict currently in recovery, but I buy stuff with the same type of veracity that I used to do other stuff with. So I think some people, you can have 2, 3 knives. That's all you'll ever need, most. But, you know, it is kind of a collectible thing for me. But I use them. They're not safe queens. They don't stay in boxes. They all get carried. They all cut stuff. They just don't, unfortunately or fortunately, I'm in a city and I don't have to use it all day hard. Even though I'm working slowly but surely on my little stick. And I've got to get this thinner. And that's a pain in the ass. This thing was a dead weed or hard maple. I mean, it's hard as, and it does not like to cut. So I do try to use knives. Yeah, Palmer, I think it's a sum of all the parts, the whole thing, not just the individual elements that make a knife good. And yeah, we could say this knife is good, but it could be great if it had a better heat treat. I wouldn't argue that. But for me, I'm just saying if the knife is good, I would probably perceive that knife as great because I wouldn't notice the difference in the heat treat not being optimal. But I won't make that video because I don't want to. I think the lock stick video is going to come at some point. Are you looking for a full size fixed blade or are you looking for something more EDC? Because I absolutely think that some of the Tucson knives, they're not in stock right this second. They are on Amazon. They just take a little while to get here. If you're looking for a small knife, if you're looking for a medium-sized knife, there's a great 14C knife that I've bought before that is one of those questionable knives. Let me get my orders. See if it still shows up. I don't think it'll still show up. Let's do, let's go Brother Watchman. So I've had these knives in slip joints, and I've also had their fixed blades. Their fixed blades look like something similar, but they are really good knives. I've had and given away a couple of them, but like this one here is D2, smaller knife, comes with a great Kydex sheath. You can put any kind of mounting method you want on there, $32. And then they've got smaller ones. This one looks to me kind of like an Essie. This little guy's 14C 28N, $32. Now, I've enjoyed these knives. I used them, cut with them, and then gave them away on Friday Night Flicks. But that's a different one, and it's short. I mean, so that's a 3.35-inch blade. Total length, no, that's wrong. Total length, 5.91 inches. So they've got, the Brother Watchman have some pretty cool designs and different style knives, all well under $50. So if you're just looking to see if you want to carry an EDC fixed blade, which is what I did, and I picked up from White Mountain Knives because I wanted a tiny one. I picked up a TS 150 and it was $45 in S90V, but it was a tiny, tiny knife. So TS 150. Whoop. And that's a little bitty guy. It's going to be about the size. It's actually a little bit smaller than the Chickadee, but it is S90V. It is very sharp. And they've also got a Wong design that we were just looking at. This was in stock, but it's out of stock. This M390, a little bit longer. So there's some really good choices. I would look at those brothers, and I would put an email, go to White Mountain Knives and search. What I search is Tucson fixed blades. Whoops. Make sure I'm taking y'all with me. I go. Probably my favorite that I've had from Tucson is this one right here. It's a little bit bigger. It's got M390. It's a Wong design, super slicey. Has these nice contoured micarta handles, full tang, a little bit of billboarding on the blade, 5.5 inches. I always carried this in my back pocket or in my appendix with straps. But you could just put your email address in there, and these do come back in stock because these were in stock last week. And he does order those from time to time to keep them in stock. Craig, funny you say that. That's the Eafengross started me on the Strider. Well, kids, it is midnight. What we are going to do is I'm going to let all you guys go to sleep, get your game on for tomorrow. I'm going to chill, try to get some sleep, which won't happen. But I appreciate y'all coming out. I do ask, please, 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 please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Always, always, always choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Thanks for coming, guys. Peace.